Hey guys, this will be video 3 for the Gen 5 that I'm basically doing a partial top in on. I got down into there to the inside, and just out of curiosity, I said yesterday that all these were spinning really well, and it's really strange. There's one back here that I reached down and it was spinning, but then when I looked down today, it's weird. I noticed it's got a bend in it. I'm gonna see if I can get this on camera. I went ahead and loosened. I loosened it. I know you can see it up here. I'm sorry. Let me get the hold of the camera real still. There it was right there. So this push rod has got to be replaced. It's not a big deal. I can still do everything else that I'm doing as far as the intake, and then just if we only replace this one push rod, then I'll simply just pull this nut off, slide the new one in, put some assembly lube on it, and put it back together at about 40 foot-pounds is what it calls for. When I discovered that, what I did, I took the engine and I rotated it through the entire cycle. In other words, I dropped every one of the lifters down and did an actual, well, I can't turn that one out because it's got tight, but did an actual real accurate rotation test, and every one of them are really good except for that one. And it doesn't surprise me, it's an exhaust valve. What that means, at one point in this engine's life, this exhaust valve rusted a little bit and in the shaft, and it froze. And when it got cranked up the first time, it was so frozen that it bent the push rod. And then the rest of the engine is really good. I literally went through every one of them as I was talking about, just to verify, so they could be left in and run. Again, the engine internally is unbelievably clean, or I shouldn't say that. I mean, it's as it should be. So other than, that oil that I found, and you can see right here, I got all that cleaned out, so that's good. That's good. See, nothing in there. So all of the intakes are, the intake runners are nice and dry and clean. And again, there's a little bit of oil on top of the valves, the valve head, but it'll burn off pretty quickly. So anyway, I got to replace that push rod right there. The reason I also want to make this video, I forgot to mention earlier, this is the gasket I used. It's called this Felpro 17340. This is a composite material with the restrictor plate there. Keeps it a lot cooler at the carburetor. And you can see this is being marine grade. You actually could run salt water through an engine, and it just so happens that, yeah, this would be the intake, the port by which the coolant will flow through. Or if this were a saltwater cooled engine, salt water could flow around this. So in other words, this gasket will last probably however long you need it to. I don't know if they have a lifespan, but my God, I know they'll last a lot longer than the others. So anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent there. Head bolts are nice and clean. I'm getting ready to put some sealant on the threads. And oh, this is something I need to mention. I've mentioned this in several of my videos about guys that put the, and look at this kit right here even. Oh, crap. See, this kit that I just bought has these type gaskets that you could put here on the ends. Don't ever use them. Throw them away. They're a danger. They're an unbelievable hazard, because if you've ever had any machine work done, everything's a little bit different. Every builder that I've ever met or talked to, they use a really nice RTV across the front, and what that does, that allows the intake to set down as far as it needs to. You wouldn't, well, you would. People know how stiff cork is, especially. This stuff won't even hardly compress. And if it needed, and these are super thin. So, and if it needed just another 10 or 15 thousandths or 20 thousandths to really compress and seal, well, then those end cork on the end, or either like this that was on there, could be just enough to hold everything up so that it doesn't seal properly. And again, you know, the more I thought about it, it's got to be the intake leaking and vacuuming oil vapors out of the thing. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and put all this together, but I wanted to make note of that gasket because I know the client and I talked about it yesterday, but I didn't get to show it to him this morning because he was already gone. So I think I'm kind of digressing now. So I'm going to shut the video down there, and if you want, Jim, we can replace every one of these push rods, but they don't need it. I mean, they're fine. Just the one, and this is kind of typical. I see this a lot in engines. I'll get a price on a full set, but if we do that, both rocker covers are going to have to come off. I'm going to have to take every one of these loose, pull them out. Fortunately, this engine doesn't have to be lashed, meaning I don't have to rotate through the engine and adjust the tension. I just torque them down to 40 foot-pounds. So it's not the most difficult process in the world to pull this other rocker cover off, knock all of these rockers loose, pull every one of these push rods out, drop the new ones in with assembly lube, and just kind of bolt it up. So anyway, we'll talk about that later on, but again, it's not slowing me down right now, other than just the little bit of time from the discovery and stuff. So alright, I'm going to end the video there. Again, the engine's really clean. I don't think I need to go into that detail. I might make one more video after everything's assembled and when I'm getting ready to prime and paint. Thanks.